Hideo Kojima was quoted recently saying, "I will be creative until the day my mind fails me. I can't begin to imagine living any other way." Greetings. Welcome to the Vodkast. Daddy-O's. Good morning, all you Billy Bumblers. How you doing out there today? Today is the one day of the year I reflect on my father. I don't know why. Well, I know why it's today, because today's 39 years since he called me last. He died that day too, but still, you think he could take the time to just ring me for a second? Jesus Christ, man. It's so weird to feel so neutral towards him because growing up, he died when I was so young. I don't remember hardly anything before the age of 7. Probably not even later than that. But, the memories I have are all good memories. I shared 9 years ago, actually. I shared something that said the things I did remember. And I remember that him being a tech nerd before a tech nerd was a tech nerd. My mother used to tell me he used to have all the latest, gadgets and electronics, microwaves. We were the first one on the block to have it. I know I've told you this story before. But he also was a bit of a carpenter, and he built me bunk beds down in the basement of our house in Mendon, Massachusetts. I'm going to show you a picture of that house because that's a big part of my childhood was being there. With him. My entire life with him actually spanned three different cities. We lived in Apopka, Florida at Yogi Bear Campground. He was the minister for the campground there. That's another place that's, got those few memories that I still hold on to from him. I remember feeding squirrels down there. I remember being on a hayride once and Boo Boo Bear, not Yogi, Boo Boo, his head fell off and all the kids were just terrified. But I lived in the campground, so my mother worked at the station there, the ranger station, where they had the best caramel Tootsie Pops. They don't make them that way anymore. They still sell them, but they're not as good. And my dad, of course, was a minister, so they were always interacting with the community, and I was there, and I'm fairly certain at one point or another I saw those guys, throwing on their stupid suits and getting in the hayride. So it had no effect on me. But Mendon's the one that sticks out to me the most, the one that I feel like I have more memories from. I remember I had 2 rooms. I always had 2 rooms growing up because I never had any brothers or sisters, or at least younger brothers or sisters. I have 2 half-brothers and a half-sister. So Paul, Dave, or Ruth Olivera, if you're out there, or if you guys know a Paul, Dave, or Ruth Olivera that would probably be in there, I don't know, maybe 60s or 70s at this, maybe, yeah, I'd say 70s maybe. Let me know. I'm desperately trying to seek them out. It doesn't matter. And I remember this time, my father had just given his sermon, and he had left. He had just given the sermon, and he had asked me to go home because I was supposed to go get ready. He was going to take me to go see Annie at the theater. And he said, but don't stop at any of your friends' house on the way home. And I came around the corner. There was this cool little corner shop that had, there was a pizza place across. It doesn't matter. Jesus Christ, my mind wanders sometimes. And I stopped and I ended up talking with Chris for apparently quite a while, because then I saw my mother and father walking home and I was like, oh shit, and I had to book it. When's the last time you had to book it? Anyway, I got home. I'm pretty sure they saw me, but he still took me. So the memories I have of him are, good ones, but I feel like if he had lived much longer, I can't imagine what our relationship would have been like. That's my point I'm trying to make. Who I am now, clearly, for most people, is not who I was at 7 years old. But people evolve, they change, they in some cases rebel. And I have to wonder, there's no way I would have gotten to where I am today if he had been alive. Not saying that I'm right about that. That's the problem, is I don't know. I feel like he was the old school Portuguese preacher, you know what I mean? He came from Fall River, but he was born in Fall River, but his parents came from the Azores. And so, he had a lot of, I imagine, a strict upbringing. So I don't think it would have been the best idea for him to continue living. For me, at least. And I mean that in the most and I mean that in the most unintentional way. Like, I mean, it's not like, thank God he died. But I'm saying, we may not have known each other. I may not be doing this. I may not have learned to play guitar. I may not have done the things I did in my life because of him. But maybe it would have been awesome. Maybe he would have been encouraging me, like, you know what? I never got to do that when I was a kid. Go crazy. Have a good time. And I don't even have my mother now to ask these questions, which makes it incredibly difficult. Kids, friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ear for a moment. If your parents are alive and you don't think you give a shit about things while they're still alive because you think you can, if you need those questions answered, you'll have them answered someday, don't rely on that, because a day will come when a question will pop into your head and you'll be like, I have no one to ask. I will never have the answer to this question. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to get sappy on you. Trust me, I'm not trying to get sappy. This is not a sappy day for me. It's not a sad day for me. It's just, it's the one day of the year that's not a holiday or a birthday that significantly jumps out. My grandmother died on my birthday, or that would be another day. My mother died November 11th, 2016, which is just kind of a boring day. So 11/11/16. Should have died 5 days earlier, Mom. Oh, Mom. Probably sucking cocks in hell. Hey, what else? It's sermons. So I started thinking more and more. I've made there's been this epiphanous moment in my life this morning. Sermons aren't much different than what I do here. I'm like, I wonder if that's like some kind of weird like gene that allows people to stand or, in front of a camera, or people. People are no different from me. I love being the center of attention. I do. There you go. It's out there in the world. More attention for me, not you. And I started thinking how many of the times I've come on here, Road to 40, Vodkast, podcast, whatever I'm doing, and I'm actually preaching a sermon. Like, there is this one that every now and again I like to talk about, and I'm going to talk about it this morning. Here's the title of the sermon. Live your life to the fullest, as long and as creatively as you can, or as much as life allows you. I went down to water my plants this morning. Here's some pictures of me. I went down. There I am. Yep. Oh, yep. It's a big one. That one's fucking huge. And I started thinking about what meant the most to me, my time-wise. Like, because when I get up at about 6 o'clock every morning to make sure that the kids are up and fed, and they've been angels about waking up. I swear to God, it almost brings tears to my eyes, because we used to fight in the mornings, and I'm sure that'll happen again someday. I can see it this morning. They were just like, they got up, no problem, but they were dragging ass. Anywho, living life with fullness creatively. I was thinking about the moments that I have left today. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. I got them ready, took the dog out, did all your morning shit. Everybody's got morning routines, whether you have kids or not. And when I got back from getting them on the bus, I came inside, said goodbye to Carol. And in that moment every day, it's such an empty feeling. There's pets here. I just went down and I brushed Bunny for quite a while. She loves that. She loves getting brushed. Here's a picture of Bunny. And I thought, okay, I like brushing Bunny. Those moments are the moments that I'm not worrying about, like laundry or doing the dishes or, any of the household chores or the things that need to get done. But those moments, the brushing Bunny moments, the taking a moment to, as much as a chore the plants are, I love, like, realizing that I've grown something. And in my entire life, I've never been able to grow anything. I tried growing, except weed. Weed's the only thing I can grow. But I guess that's not a bad thing, especially if it turns out to be good. We'll be doing a show on that one, let me tell you. And that's a moment that, like, there's an hour there, about an hour-long process this morning, because I had to water 2 out of the 3 plants. And those moments, I choose because I chose to grow these plants. If I hadn't chosen to grow them, then it's not my responsibility and it doesn't matter. But then I came back upstairs and I knew I wanted to film this morning. I thought, these are moments that I love, moments that I can sit down and share a part of me with whoever wants to hear it. Besides that, from that moment until basically the kids come home and then Carol comes home, is just living life, running on a treadmill, doing the same stuff, which you have to do, or you'll have dirty clothes, or, all kinds of shit will go bad. Let me tell you, I don't know why. Just fuck off. Leave me alone. Another thing besides a smile that COVID stole from me is shopping. Before this whole pandemic thing, I used to love to go to Goodwill. I'd love to go to Target, once or twice a week. If I needed stuff, I could go there and maybe poke around a little bit. But poking around doesn't exist anymore because there's a deadly disease out there. What was my point? I don't know. I was going to bring it back to the living life. Oh, yeah, the moments in your life that you cherish and you hold on to and you cling on to. And it's easy to know the things and the people that are most important to your life. And not that things should be important, but you know what I mean. You got stuff. If you didn't have stuff, stuff is fun. I like stuff. But in the same regard, I love a streamlined house. It's why I love playing The Sims so much. Not playing it, just building houses in The Sims. But I love being able to lay out and design this clean, streamlined, kitchen. God, my mind is wandering today. It goes from one place to another. Anywho, next year will be 40 years. I can say that my father, something happened to me. Well, I was born 46 years ago, but there are events that are, significant in your life. And when they occur, you usually measure them in time. So, if your child is born, you know what age they are. I hope you know what age they are. 40 years, that's an epic milestone for anything. What classic is 25, and I don't remember how they can do the whole I don't remember how they do the whole car thing. I know there's a classic and the other one, the vintage. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about anymore. Well, I'm going to go try to enjoy the day. I'll reflect on good old Manuel Alves Oliveira, born 1914, November 14th. No, November. I think it's November 11th. I think it's the same day my mother died. That's just hitting me. Hang on a second. I got to look this up now, or it's going to drive me crazy. Manuel Alves Oliveira. Okay, November 24th, 1914. I don't know where I guess the 11. I guess I got mixed up because of death and birth, and it's all about death and birth. And if you've enjoyed this sermon as much as I've loved giving it, then please consider liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing, and hit the little bell icon and let you know every time I put out a new video. Don't forget to make somebody smile today, and take care of each other out there. I'm Jason Oliver, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode of the Vodkast podcast. Take care, and boy howdy.